Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to tell you the amazing story of Bitcoin, the digital currency that has revolutionized the way we think about money and transactions. But before we get into that, I have a question for you. Do you know who invented Bitcoin and why? If you think you know the answer, leave a comment below and I'll reveal it at the end of the video. And if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon to get notified whenever I upload a new video. Trust me, you don't want to miss this one. So, what is Bitcoin? Well, in simple terms, Bitcoin is a decentralized, peer-to-peer, electronic cash system that operates without the need for a central authority or intermediary. Bitcoin allows users to send and receive payments directly to each other, without going through banks or other intermediaries. Bitcoin also has a limited supply of 21 million units, which makes it scarce and valuable. Bitcoin is also transparent and secure, as it uses cryptography and a distributed ledger, called the blockchain, to verify and record every transaction. But how did Bitcoin come into existence? And how did it grow from a niche project to a global phenomenon? Well, to answer that, we have to go back in time to the year 2008, when the world was facing a major financial crisis. The collapse of the housing market in the US triggered a domino effect that affected banks, markets, and governments around the world. Millions of people lost their jobs, their homes, and their savings. Trust in the financial system was shattered, and people were looking for alternatives. It was in this context that a mysterious person or group, using the pseudonym Satoshi Nakamoto, published a paper on a cryptography mailing list, titled Bitcoin, a peer-to-peer electronic cash system. The paper described the design and the principles of a new type of digital currency that would be independent of any central authority, and that would allow users to transact directly and securely, without the need for intermediaries. The paper also explained how the system would work, using a combination of cryptography, game theory, and network theory, to create a distributed consensus mechanism that would ensure the validity and integrity of the transactions in the currency. The paper was met with curiosity and skepticism by the cryptography community, but it also sparked the interest of some enthusiasts, who decided to join the project and help develop it. In January 2009, Satoshi Nakamoto released the first version of the Bitcoin software, and mined the first block of the Bitcoin blockchain, known as the Genesis block. The block contained a message that read, "The Times, the 3rd of January 2009, Chancellor on brink of second bailout for banks." This was a reference to a headline of a newspaper article that highlighted the severity of the financial crisis and the need for a new monetary system. The first Bitcoin transaction took place on January 12, 2009, when Satoshi Nakamoto sent 10 Bitcoins to Hal Finney, a computer scientist and an early Bitcoin supporter. The first Bitcoin exchange, called BitcoinMarket.com, was launched in March 2010, and the first real-world transaction, involving the purchase of 2 pizzas for 10,000 Bitcoins, took place in May 2010. The value of 1 Bitcoin at the time was less than a cent. Bitcoin continued to grow and evolve throughout the 2010s, and so did the technology and the community that supported it. One of the most important developments was the creation of the Bitcoin network, which consists of thousands of nodes, or computers, that run the Bitcoin software, and validate and relay transactions. The nodes are also responsible for mining, or creating new Bitcoins, by solving complex mathematical problems that require a lot of computing power and energy. The nodes are rewarded with newly created Bitcoins and transaction fees for their contribution to the network. The mining process also ensures the security and the decentralization of the system, as it makes it very difficult and costly for anyone to tamper with or control the blockchain. Another important development was the emergence of the Bitcoin ecosystem, which consists of various platforms, services, and applications that enable users to interact with the Bitcoin network and the currency. Some of the most popular and influential components of the ecosystem are Bitcoin wallets, which are software or hardware devices that store and manage the private keys that allow users to access and spend their Bitcoins. Bitcoin exchanges, which are platforms that allow users to buy and sell Bitcoins, using fiat currencies or other cryptocurrencies. Bitcoin payment processors, which are services that enable merchants and businesses to accept Bitcoins as a form of payment, and convert them to fiat currencies or other cryptocurrencies. Bitcoin ATMs, which are machines that allow users to buy and sell Bitcoins, using cash or debit cards. Bitcoin faucets, which are websites that give away small amounts of Bitcoins, to introduce new users to the currency and the network. Bitcoin media, which are sources of information, news, and analysis about Bitcoin and the cryptocurrency industry. Bitcoin education, which are courses, books, podcasts, videos, and events that teach and promote Bitcoin and the cryptocurrency industry. Bitcoin also faced many challenges and issues, such as technical glitches, security breaches, regulatory uncertainty, legal disputes, and social conflicts. Some of the most notable and controversial events that affected Bitcoin were the disappearance of Satoshi Nakamoto, who stopped communicating with the Bitcoin community in 2010, and whose identity and whereabouts remain unknown to this day. The hacking of Mt. Gox, which was the largest Bitcoin exchange at the time, and which lost over 850,000 Bitcoins, worth over $450 million, in 2014, due to a security breach and a fraud scheme. The creation of Bitcoin Cash, which was a hard fork, or a split, of the Bitcoin blockchain, that occurred in 2017, due to a disagreement over the scalability and the governance of the system. Bitcoin Cash increased the block size limit, from 1 megabyte to 8 megabytes, to allow more transactions per block, and faster confirmation times. The launch of Bitcoin futures, which are contracts that allow investors to speculate on the future price of Bitcoin, without owning the underlying asset. Bitcoin futures were introduced by the Chicago Board Options Exchange, CBOE, and the Chicago Mercantile Exchange, CME, in 2017, and they marked the entry of Bitcoin into the mainstream financial market. The halving of Bitcoin rewards, which is an event that occurs every 4 years, and that reduces the amount of new Bitcoins created per block, by 50%. The halving is designed to control the inflation in the supply of the currency, and to increase its scarcity and value. The last halving occurred in 2020, and it reduced the reward from 12.5 Bitcoins to 6.25 Bitcoins per block. Bitcoin has come a long way since its inception, and it has achieved remarkable growth and adoption, both in terms of its price and its user base. The value of one Bitcoin reached an all-time high of over $40,000 in 2021, and the number of Bitcoin users surpassed 100 million in 2020. Bitcoin has also attracted the attention and the support of many influential individuals and organizations, such as Elon Musk, Jack Dorsey, Michael Saylor, Paul Tudor Jones, MicroStrategy, Square, PayPal, and many others. Bitcoin has also inspired and enabled the creation of thousands of other cryptocurrencies, or digital assets, that use similar or different technologies and principles, to offer various features and functions, such as privacy, speed, scalability, programmability, etc. Some of the most popular and successful cryptocurrencies, besides Bitcoin, are Ethereum, Ripple, Litecoin, Bitcoin Cash, Cardano, Polkadot, Stellar, Chainlink, and many others. Bitcoin has also sparked a new wave of innovation and experimentation in the fields of cryptography, computer science, economics, and sociology, as it challenges and redefines the concepts and the functions of money, trust, value, and power. Bitcoin has also opened new possibilities and opportunities for individuals, businesses, and societies to create and exchange value, to communicate and collaborate, to learn and educate, to express and empower, and to connect and belong. But Bitcoin is not only about technology and money, it is also about vision and philosophy. Bitcoin is based on a set of values and principles that reflect the ideals and the aspirations of its creators and its users. Some of these values and principles are decentralization, which means that Bitcoin is not controlled or governed by any central authority or intermediary, but by its users and its network, which are distributed and diverse. Transparency, which means that Bitcoin is open and verifiable, as every transaction and every block are recorded and visible on the blockchain, which anyone can access and audit. Security, which means that Bitcoin is protected and reliable, as it uses cryptography and a consensus mechanism to ensure the validity and the integrity of the transactions and the currency. Privacy, which means that Bitcoin is anonymous and confidential, as it does not require users to reveal their identity or personal information to send and receive payments. Freedom, which means that Bitcoin is accessible and inclusive, as it does not require users to have a bank account or a credit card to participate in the network and the economy. Innovation, which means that Bitcoin is dynamic and adaptable, as it allows users to experiment and improve the system, and to create new applications and services on top of it. Bitcoin is not just a technology and a currency, it is also a movement and a community that share a common vision and a common goal to create a better and fairer world, where money is free and open, and where people are empowered and connected. Bitcoin is a revolution and an evolution that challenges and redefines the status quo, and that offers new possibilities and opportunities for individuals, businesses, and societies. And that's the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it and learned something new. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. And if you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them below. I'd love to hear from you. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.